This woman was already beautiful, but she still spent all her money to get plastic surgery. The moment the nurse removed her bandage, the police were called to the scene immediately to investigate. Detective Shawnee investigated and found out that the deceased Ella was a former employee of the plastic surgery hospital. But why did she die as a patient in the hospital of her former boss in such a strange way? What's more difficult is that the hospital to protect the privacy of customers. There's no surveillance equipment. Customer information is kept strictly confidential. Even the method of payment is in cash. The investigation has become much more difficult. When Shawnee was about to leave the scene of the crime, a patient caught her eye. This patient was a regular at the hospital when the victim, Ella, worked there. Shawnee tried to ask her about Ella. The conversation was interrupted by the sudden appearance of a doctor named Sasha. Confronted with the tragic death of her former colleague, Dr. Sasha was unusually calm. Shawnee became suspicious.
You seem so calm. Suppose I have a very strong constitution. When you cut into people for a living, it's pretty gruesome.
Shawnee immediately expressed her suspicions to the police. She wanted to investigate Dr. Sasha. However, the police said they had already ruled her out as a suspect. Because Sasha was at the museum at the time of the incident, Shawnee wanted to fight a little more, but the police emphasized the importance of evidence. Shawnee calmed down and continued to reason. According to Dr. Sasha's movements on that day, Shawnee realized that although she had purchased a ticket to the museum that day, but the museum is only 4 minutes away from the plastic surgery hospital, she had time to buy the tickets and return to the hospital to commit the crime. The police suddenly announced that they had identified a suspect, Dr. Jack, the surgeon who operated on the deceased Ella. The police found that Jack had sent emails to the deceased Ella, asking her to check on his patients, but the doctor denied it. He insisted that he had never sent any emails, and that he could never have asked Ella to come to the hospital. The police have no evidence other than this email. They had to let him go for the time being. Just as the doctor was about to leave, Shawnee stopped him. She asked him to check his cell phone again. It turns out he was using an old cell phone that could only make calls and send emails. This instantly confirmed Shawnee's suspicions.
Were you ever separated from this phone with other people around?
Oh, at a dinner party last week.
Was Vanessa at the dinner?
Oh yeah, she hosted.
So who do you think the killer is?